Hey guys, so I'm just going to walk you through how I thought about putting together the program and how you're going to progress, hopefully, through the phases, and just try and help you make sense of what you're actually trying to do. So we'll see. So there's 4 phases. We're starting off with phase, if that clicks for me, phase 1. And in phase 1, we're really working on, like, it's quite sensory now. You will feel in that calf bridge that you build a lot of strength, to be honest, isometric strength in your calf and your hamstring as well, but it's isometric strength. We're working on like really understanding our feet, really feeling where they are in space, foot pressure, things like that, foot function. So we're making sure that the sensory and the function is there, that we can actually transition our way through our foot and load tissues in the right way. And we're working on making sure that we have a connection with our soleus. So when we actually push through the floor, you do feel the soleus working. It shouldn't be the outside of your shin. It shouldn't just be like your toes are squeezing. You actually feel how when you press your foot like a gas pedal into the floor, that connects with the calf muscle. It's going to be really important for later on. Okay, so that's phase 1. We progress on to phase 2. Hopefully a lot of people will be feeling way better even with phase 1. If you're not, there's a reason we have 4 phases rather than 1 phase. It's because I would like everyone to get through all of these things, and it should make you a better mover overall. I give a lot of these drills just to my healthy clients as well. But we then progress on to phase 2 when we're ready. And in that, like, all these phases have like all of this stuff in them, to be honest, but we're starting to build a lot more foot strength. You'll see that we're moving on to our forefoot for some exercises. We're starting to really push through the floor and learn how to do that in a way that's really efficient and through the right areas. So phase 1, sensory, we're kind of making sure the foot can load. We understand, we can feel our feet, building a connection to the soleus. Then we're going to build foot strength and learn to really push through the floor in phase 2. Sounds easy, but it will be tricky when you do it. Phase 3, strength. So we're going to work on more like pure strength, integration, and energy transfer. That's kind of a fancy way of saying, like, again, we're pushing through the floor, but we're doing more maybe full body exercises while we do that. So you'll see exercises like split squats and deadlifts done in a way that you probably won't have done them before. And that's like driving. When we drive the foot through the floor, it's making something happen at the hip, it's making something happen at the knee, it's making something happen at the ankle and all the muscles in between. So that's that kind of integration and getting that, connecting the foot with the floor and using that to drive what the rest of our body is doing, which is so important. So that's what we're doing there. And then strength, we actually introduce some, there's just calf raises, which I just need you to try and nudge forward in terms of strength on. And then phase 4 are plyometrics. So we're learning to pre-activate. What that means is just like have the right amount of tension before our foot hits the floor. So obviously for foot and Achilles issues, the most load that's going to be going through our lower limb is when our foot hits the floor. If you think about running, jumping, sprinting, change of direction, anything like that, even jogging, there's a lot of load going through our lower limb, through our calf muscles, through our foot. So we need to train that. Okay, so there's the 4 phases. The reason that this program in my mind can be right for someone with plantar fasciitis or plantar fascia issues, sesamoid issues, any kind of foot issues, Achilles issues, even calf issues, ankle issues, like anything from the knee down, to be honest, I would do almost all of these exercises with my clients anyway. And it's because let's say if it was just Achilles, most Achilles rehabs just involve just doing calf raises. So they just do strength. They don't even bother doing plyometrics, or they do some very low level ones, and then they try and get people back into running or whatever it is. Whereas I think we need to do all of this stuff with anyone that needs to. And I will be telling a lot of my clients who are athletes who don't have any issues whatsoever necessarily that they need to do this program as well, because it's just going to build a ton of foot strength and lower limb strength and learn a lot of important skills. Okay, so hopefully for you, your progression looks like this, where you just do phase 1, then you do phase 2, then you do phase 3, then you do phase 4. You feel great and it's happily ever after. In reality, that's not really how things work, and everyone is an individual, and this is just designed to be laid out, and you might end up going like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Actually, maybe I felt a bit better when I did phase 2 for a while, so I'm going to go back there. And like there's some exercises I probably didn't nail, so I'm going to make sure I go back there. Now I do phase 3, and now maybe I'm able to move on to phase 4. Okay, so in reality, like rehab and training in life looks a bit more like this squiggly line here. So like you do phase 1, you might feel, oh, I'm pain free, I'm absolutely perfect, I'm fixed forever. But then you end up like going and doing a marathon, and you realize, oh, maybe I didn't quite train well for that, or maybe I started to play my sport. And it doesn't matter if you have the best rehab or the best training in the world. If you go and try and sprint 7 days in a week, you're probably going to end up with an issue. Something is going to crop up because your body just can't handle that. So you have to be smart with it. And if you're down here where like you felt good, and then you did some training that maybe your body couldn't handle, and now your foot or your Achilles starts to feel cranky again, just don't freak out. So being like up here or being up here doesn't mean, okay, I'm fixed forever. And being somewhere down here doesn't mean like my life is ruined. It's just the regular swings and roundabouts, peaks and valleys that come with training and trying to maybe push your body a little bit. So just, I know it's hard to think about that when you're in pain, but just try and remember that it's up and down. Okay, so don't go crazy if you're feeling good. Don't go crazy if you're feeling bad either. Okay, in terms of progression through these phases, everyone is going to do phase 1 for 1 week. They have to. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're going to do that. If you feel like you need another week there, then do that. So instead of writing week 1, week 2, I wrote phases, because that means you can spend as much time or as little time as you need on that phase. So everyone's going to do that for 1 week. Some people will do it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Then they're going to progress on to phase 2. That splits into 2 different days. Everyone is going to do that for at least 2 weeks. Some people will do that for longer. Some people will do that for just 2 weeks. They'll move on to phase 3. Don't rush through this. Remember, it's not about getting to the end. It's about feeling good in your body. Phase 3, again, it's split into 2 different days, and everyone is going to work on that for a while, because there's exercises in it that you can actually build a lot of strength through your whole lower body, and strength takes time to build. So it's not just like, okay, I picked up a 10 kilo dumbbell, I did this for 2 weeks, and now I'm done. No, I would like you to keep pushing and picking up a heavier weight, getting stronger as you go. Okay. In terms of progression into plyometrics, that's the hard part. When should you start with that? It's a tricky one. You could easily do like phase 4, the plyometric session, along with the phase 3, and I'll show you an example. I'll put together a little example program for that. So you could start with that, because we start slow in our plyometrics. We start small. But some people will want to complete like a good block of phase 3 before they move into the plyometrics. Other people will feel like, depending on your level, you might feel like, you know what, I have no problem doing this, and I can do my plyometrics, and my pain doesn't get much worse. So why not like dive into them and start to train the things that you really need to train, which is your plyometrics. Okay, so the plyometrics, I have 6 different workouts there. The 6th one is the hardest one. That's the one we're working towards, and we're going to really try and like get really good at that. But you have to just understand that just getting to week 6 or the 6th workout in plyometrics, it's not about just getting to week 6. You need a lot of time and exposure. Any of my clients or athletes, they will be doing plyometrics for years. So don't rush past it. Don't just say, I've done that now, I should be on to the next thing. No, you need weeks and weeks and months of exposure to that. So even if you're pain free or you're not, I still think keep working on this, keep working on phase 3 and phase 4, keep getting stronger, keep getting bouncier, keep learning more about your body, and keep working on your foot exercises, your pronation exercises as well. So ups and downs, swings and roundabouts, but hopefully the progression looks like that. And again, I'm just putting the emphasis or the ball in your court to know when you're ready to progress. So like, just try and be an adult about it and understand, listen to what your body is telling you, rather than just saying, okay, this says I should move on, even though I feel like I'm actually not ready to. All right, so I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions or whatever, and best of luck with it.